The last video that I went over basically went over just the CSS style sheet for this 29.html web page, which you see displayed over here in the browser to the right. There's a couple of styles that I forgot about and I highlighted them. We have IDs for the various buttons that give them their own individual background color, but I also have a button tag, a style for all the buttons. So all the buttons share a width of 100%, margin of 0 pixels, padding of 5 pixels, font size of 16 pixels, and a border radius of 20 pixels because I wanted them to be rounded. The buttons to be rounded so that they're more differentiated from the paragraph element below it. The paragraph element is not rounded, the button is rounded. The £G and £B and £P, all of these are IDs so that each individual button also gets a unique color. Alright, so there was the button. The list item. Right here in the purple button, I have on the face of the button an unordered list. So we have these dots here to the side, and these are each list items. So we've got a style for the list items there. Margin left, 25 pixels. Text align left, margin bottom, 10 pixels. And I believe that this list item style also applies to other pages that I'm using the same style sheet with. I also have an OL and a UL for ordered list or unordered list, and I gave that a margin left of negative 50 pixels. Because if I didn't do that, I do this, you see my list items are way off. Actually, if I took margin left off of the list item, I'm probably going to mess up another page by screwing with this style sheet because a lot of different pages are using this particular style sheet. Let me see what happens when I take that off. That sets it more in the middle. Tell you what, since this list item was doing something for another page, I'm going to leave it to a margin left of 25 pixels and this margin left of 50 pixels for the OL or UL tag. It just swings it over the left even more for me. So I'm going to go ahead and leave both of those. So that's everything extra that I didn't go over in the previous video. Now I only want to go over the JavaScript, the action of this. So here, our button ID of G, on click equals 1. Let's look at function 1 in our JavaScript file. First thing we have is var price equals prompt, enter the price of an item. So when we click this, we get this prompt box that says enter the price of an item. I'm going to click in $9.95, just like the notes here on the face of the button say, 9.95, $9.95. Hit OK. When you hit OK after a prompt or an alert box, the next line of code executes. Var tax equals prompt, enter the sales tax. So now let's enter the sales tax here at 6.5%. So just hit 6.5, and when I hit OK, all the rest of these lines are going to execute because I don't have any more prompts or alert boxes to wait for the click of an OK for everything to execute. Everything else is going to execute like a waterfall. It's going to go straight from the top to the bottom. The first two things that it's going to do here, since whatever we type in this text box is going to be a string data type, in order to do a mathematical calculation as shown here, we have to change them from a string data type to a numeric, and this is how we do it. On the right hand side of the equal sign we have the word number, and then we have our variable that we're changing from a text to a number in parentheses. So number, parentheses price, and we're setting it equal to a brand new variable name, price float. So now price float's going to have the value that price had, but instead of it being a string data type, it's going to be a number. We're going to do the same thing to the tax. Whatever I typed in for the tax, which is 6.5, instead of it being a string, it's going to become a number, and it's going to go into a new variable name called tax float. Now in line 9, we're going to actually do the mathematical equation. Var total, so we're creating another variable to hold the brand new answer, evaluation to this equation. We're taking the value of price float and we're adding it to the tax. Now how we get the tax is we're taking price float times And instead of just the value of tax float, instead of 6.5, I am dividing 6.5 by 100, so that becomes 0.065, which is actually the percentage instead of just 6.5. We don't want to take the price times 6.5 because that's not a percent. A percent is divided by 100. So tax float divided by 100 in its own set of parentheses, and then price float times that in its own set of parentheses. So this gives us our tax, and we add it to the price. And then we put it in this variable called total. Line 11, var total rounded. Well, we're going to take that value of total, and we're using .toFixed with 2 in parentheses because we want to round that to only 2 decimal places. Because when we first combine the price and the tax amounts, it gives us an answer of 10.59675. Well, the total to fixed with a 2 is going to format it to round a display for 2 decimal places. And then we're going to have the demo 1, which is the ID of this paragraph down here at the bottom. We're going to display the output demo1.inner HTML equals the words or the text string the total price is, plus whatever the value of total rounded winds up being. So total rounded is not going to be the 10.59675. It should round up to 1060 plus a $sign because we stuck this $sign within the string double quotes right here. Then the last thing that's going to happen is this button is going to be disabled. So we can only click this once and see the whole output, and then we'll move on to the blue button and the purple button, the orange button, and the yellow button. And each time all of these finish their function, they become disabled. With the document.getElement by ID, this button right here has an ID of G, so G is in parentheses and double quotes, .disabled equals true. So this statement will disable our green button. So let me click OK. The total price is $10.60. And because I'd like to show this one more time, this is disabled no matter how many times I click it, it's not going to do it. So I'm going to hit the refresh button. I'm going to refresh the page so that I can run this again. I'm going to click it. This time I'm going to enter the price of $100 to make it easy. Okay. And now the sales tax. Instead of what did I do before, 6.5, I'm going to do 7.555. No, just 7.5. So what's going to happen is that 7.55 is going to be divided by 100, which is going to make it 0.0755. And then it's going to do the math with that. Hit OK. And so with 7.55% sales tax, the total of a $100 item is $107.55. All right. Let's close up function 1. So we did all of this. Now let's do, I can close that up. Let's do the middle tag. Now we're going to work with the blue button. Button ID of B on click equals 2. So we're going to look at function 2. All this stuff right here is what's on the face of the button. Here's the P with the ID of demo2. So as we look at the function 2, we're going to see that the output is going to be demo2.inner HTML equals, and then whatever. It's going to show up there. So this is what we're working on now. Let's go to the second one. Function 2. Here we're just going to create a number instead of having the user put in a number. Var num equals 12.555. The point of this function is that the book said some browsers will take a number like 12.555 and round it to 12.56 with 2 decimal places, and other browsers will keep it at 12.55 and not round it up. So supposedly this particular function is supposed to make it consistent, make it consistently round up no matter what browser you're using. So I'm using an alert to output the value of num. It's set at a value of 12.555, and this is just going to remind me that yes, a num has a value of 12.555. Then we're going to use the dot to string on num and put it in a new variable called str. Then we're going to do this if condition. Because we made sure that it was a string, we're able to use char at and slice. So if str.charat str.length -1, if that's equal to 5, what that is asking is the last digit to whatever this set of digits is it a 5? And if it is a 5, then we're going to change it to a 6 right here. So we're going to take str equals str.slice 0, str.length -1 plus 6. So we're going to change that 5 to a 6. And I'm going to double check that that actually happened by using an alert box, and I'm going to alert the value of str, which that second alert box will give us this value based on that if condition and the code that it executed. In line 37, we are going to take that str with a string data type, and we're going to change it to a number, and then we're going to put it in the variable, the original variable, num. So now it's going to be a number again instead of a string. In line 39, var pretty num. So now we're going to create yet another variable, and here we're going to use, now that num is a number again, we're going to use the dot to fixed with 2 in parentheses because we want to round that to only 2 decimal places. So instead of having 3 decimal places, it's going to give it 2. Then I'm going to use the alert box yet again to double check and make sure that the value of the variable pretty num is what I expect it to be. Then we're going to take our demo2.enterHTML equals num, the value of num, plus the string rounded to do 2 decimal places is, and then we're going to concatenate the value of pretty num, which is going to be our 2 decimal places. Alright, so let's see how that works so far. There's more code here because we're going to actually do it again with different variables, but we're going to let, instead of using the hard-coded var num equals 12.555, we're going to do that whole thing, but then at line 48 we're going to use a prompt box and let the user put in any decimal to test the same code. So let me get this going. I'll click it. This page says 12.555. That's this first alert box. I guess I could take all of these off and show you as we go while it's running. Okay, so this executed and alert just executed, and yes, it did show us that the output, the value of num is 12.555. When I click OK, then it's going to change that, ensure that it's a string value, and it's going to do this if condition and change that last 5 to a 6, and then it's going to alert us with the new value, which should be 12.556. So I hit OK. This page says 12.556, so that's accurate. Then we're going to take it and we're going to make sure that it's a number, because we're going to take the value of str and we're going to format it with the word number and set it equal to that variable called num again. Then we're going to do var pretty num equals num to fixed so that we have a decimal, and then we're going to alert so that we can see the value of pretty num and make sure that it's what we expected it to be. So I hit OK, and now 12.556 is going to become 12.56. So it rounded that up from 0.555 to 0.56, 2 decimal places. Alright, now when I hit OK, we're going to get into this next section. Var test string equals prompt. Input any decimal to test the rounding code in action. So this time I get to put whatever I want. So I'm going to put 1 point, let's see, 1.295. So what you're going to figure is 1.295 is going to end up rounding up to 1. It's going to change the 5 to a 6 to ensure that any browser that might not round it up the way other ones will, it'll make sure that it definitely rounds everything up. So this is ultimately going to go from 1.295 to 1.30. That's the goal. So when I hit OK, we are going to make sure that it's a string value by taking the variable that we created and using the .toString method, and we're going to put this in a new variable called x. And here we're going to do that same if deal that we did up here. It's the same exact thing. I just, everywhere that this variable was in here, I changed it to the x variable. So if x.charat, and then in parentheses x.length -1 is equal to 5, so it's wanting to know if the last digit in this 1.295, when it becomes characters, string characters, it wants to know if it's a 5, and if it is, it's going to slice it, and it's going to change it to a 6. X equals x.slice 0, x.length -1 plus 6. Then we're going to go from x being a string data type to a number again. So test string is going to be equal to number with the x in the parentheses. And then we're going to create, I need to put var final number equals test string to fixed. So this one is going to give us just the 2 decimal places and round it up and put it in final number. Then our demo2, which is down here, which already has something in it, but we're going to change what's in it to what the new display is going to be. Demo2.innerHTML equals test string plus rounded to 2 decimal places is plus final number. And then we're right before the end of the function, document.getElementById b, because this time this button has an ID of b, .disabled is true. So let me hit OK. 1.296 rounded to 2 decimal places is 1.30. So it did what we wanted to do. And both the green button and the blue button, no matter how many times you click it, they're disabled, so they will not work again unless you hit the refresh on the browser page. Okay, so with all that being said, let's move on to our third button and our third function. Get rid of all of these. Close up function 2. Look at, so we did the middle tag. We can close that up. Now let's look at the right tag. Button ID P, we're talking about the purple button. OnClick equals 3, so we're going to be dealing with a function with a name of 3. All this junk right here is what's being shown on the face of this button, and like I told you, I used a UL tag with LI tags, which gives us list items. So you see day of week, month, date, year, hours, and format. All of these are list items with dots to the left of them. There's the end of the button. PID equals demo3, so the function is going to refer to demo3.innerHTML when it displays the output. So let's go on ahead and look at that function, function 3. Good, it's nice and short and sweet. Var right now equals new date. We are creating a date object, and we're putting that date object into the variable called right now. Then we're going to use a nice alert box that has the text saying right now it is, and \n goes down 2 lines, and then we're going to have the value of right now. Then we're going to use that demo3.innerHTML to spit out the display, the value of right now. And lastly, we're going to document.getElementById p.disabled equals true. We're going to disable the purple button. So let's go on ahead and click it. The page says right now it is, and when you create a date object, as we did right here, new date, var right now equals new date, and then you just spit out right now, you don't select pieces of it, the entire display of a date object. 2 for Tuesday, June 28th, 2016. Then you got a time here, 17:57:41 GMT 0400 Eastern Daylight Time. So those are, I believe, 1, 2, 3, 4 sections of the date object. We click OK. And the orange button. This is what was irritating me before. The orange button is accidentally getting hit because of these pop-ups, and it actually started to run the orange button. So now you actually seen the orange button run, and I wasn't ready to show you that yet. So let me refresh. Let me run these real quick. Okay, this is disabled. Let's run this really quick. This is disabled. I have to be careful not to hit that orange button. Okay, this is disabled. So Tuesday, June 28, 2016. This right here is putting it in the Demo3 ID in that paragraph. And then it's disabled. So we're done with function 3. So I finished the button with the ID of P, which is purple. Now let's go to the tag other. There's 2 of them. There's one, which is going to go over the orange button. The other one is going to go over a yellow button. Then we're going to have the end of the wrapper, end of the body, end of the HTML, and the end of this video. So only 2 more buttons with 2 more functions. Other. Button ID equals O for orange. OnClick equals 4 for the function with the ID of 4. All of this is on the face of the button. The paragraph underneath it has the ID of Demo4, which is used in the function. So let's look at the function 4. We already looked at 1, 2, 3. Let's open up 4. This is a little bit longer, but it isn't as, it's not very complicated once we get into it. All right, in line 87 we have var right now equals new date. var sound1, var sound2, and var sound3 are all sound files of me reading parts when the pop-up boxes come up. Like, for instance, what this alert box reads, I'm actually verbally recording it in an MP3 file. So onedate.mp3 will be utilized. It will be put into this variable called snd1. So when I put snd1.play, I'm actually playing that MP3 at that point. And then down here, after this alert box, when I hit the OK from the alert box, I have snd1.pause and snd1.current time equals 0. What that does is it stops the playing of the MP3. If I don't have these 2 lines of code, it will continue to play even when I'm trying to move on to the next alert box. So those are important. So I've created 3 MP3s, and I've put the value of each of them in their own variable, sound1, sound2, and sound3. Sound1.play, this is going to play the onedate.mp3 file. Demo4.enter HTML equals right now. So we're going to get something like this, Tuesday, June 28th, 2016, with a time. That's going to show up here in this orange paragraph area. Then we're going to get an alert box that says, the date object is not a string data type. You can't use methods like char at, index of, or slice unless you manually convert it to a string first. For example, var now equals new date would be the first line, and var date string equals now dot to string, which I actually did with the earlier function. I used the dot to string so that I could use methods like char at, index of, or slice. This is giving us that information, although we don't actually use the char at or index of or slice in this particular function. This is just giving us information. So then after that alert box, when OK is clicked from that alert box, the sound 1 is paused and the sound 1 current time is set to 0. The next thing that happens after we get out of that alert box is we have sound2.play. And Demo4.enter.html is going to be right now still, so that's not going to change. Then we have an alert. So all this is basically alert box is giving us notes or information. It's going to say JavaScript gets date object information from the user's computer. It is only as accurate as the computer's date and time settings. So if you move from the US West Coast to the East Coast, and if you don't reset your computer, the date object will not reflect the appropriate time for the new time zone. Then \n and \n gives us a couple lines of free space. And then when OK is clicked, we have sound2.pause and sound2.current time is set to 0. Now, the sound2.play is me reading this alert box. So when I hit OK to the alert box, even if that MP3 reading is not done, it's going to pause and reset it so that when the next alert box pops up and the next MP3 plays, this won't be playing simultaneous with this. This will already be stopped and this will start. So that it gives you a nice fluid play without multiple MP3s playing at the same time. Which, okay, sound 3 is going to play. At that point, Demo4.enter.html, it doesn't change. It's still set to right now, which I should have changed each of these so that you'd see something different as the code changed, but I didn't. The next alert box says a whole lot of stuff too. The following code creates a new date object, assigns it to a variable right now, extracts the day of the week, and assigns the day of the week to the variable the day. 2 \n give us a couple spaces, and then you'll see var right now equals new date. Var the day equals right now dot get day. Couple spaces. When you extract the day of the week from the object, it is represented as a number, couple of spaces. And then we have 0 equals Sunday, 1 equals Monday, 2 equals Tuesday, 3 equals Wednesday, 4 equals Thursday, 5 equals Friday, and 6 equals Saturday. Then when we click OK, that sound file is paused, that sound file is reset, and Demo4.enter.html, now we are changing it. Instead of it just saying the current date object information like this purple has, it's going to actually have an unordered list, which again shows us that Sunday, the value when you extract it is going to be set equal to 0. Monday's value will be 1. They're numeric values. So we're actually getting numbers back, and in order for us to change those numbers into the actual name, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and so on and so forth, that's going to be something that I'm going to do on another tutorial. And then the last thing that happens is we disable the orange button. Document.getElementById O.disabled equals true. Okay, so that's all of function 4. So let's go on ahead and run it. And you see the first alert box, which in Chrome it's not rendering the MP3, but in Firefox it does render the MP3 so that as you're reading this, you're hearing me speak it at the same time. When you click OK, it goes to the next set of notes, and again, it would be playing the MP3 that's reading this, but I'm not in Firefox right now. Click OK, and then go to the next one, and then click OK. And then you see down here that unordered list, Sunday equals 0, Monday equals 1, all the way to Saturday equals 6. And the orange button is disabled. So, hold on a second. Okay, so I went over the entire function 4, which really doesn't do a lot of stuff. It was basically informational purposes. Let's go to the web page again. Let's close this one up. And our final button in the other tag, button ID equals Y, and Y has the style of with the background yellow and everything. OnClick equals 5, which is going to be our 5th and last function. And all of this is on the face of the button. Our P underneath has an ID of Demo5, so the function will be referring to Demo5 for the .enter HTML to display the output. And then there's the end of the other, end of the wrapper, end of the body, end of the HTML. So after I finish the function 5, this will be done. So let's go look at it. Function 5. Here I'm messing around with audio again. I've created 4 MP3 files. Var send sound4 snd4 equals new audio, and the MP3s, and this one's called yay.mp3. The next one is, and that's set to sound4 or snd4. The next one, var sound5 equals new audio boo.mp3. The third one is var snd6, short for sound6 equals new audio 6 okdate.mp3. And then var sound7 equals new audio, and the name of that mp3 is 7 cancel date. Oh, this is 6 OK date. This is 7 cancel date.mp3. First thing that happens here after we've created these MP3s and set them to variables is we're calling a function. And to call a function, you just say the name of the function with its parentheses, whether the function has something in the parentheses or not, and close it with a semicolon. So we call type correct number, which comes straight to this function with the name of type correct number. In line 151, I say, let me move this up, var result equals prompt type 200. So I'm sure you know that that means a prompt box is going to come up. It's going to say type 200. And when the user types something in, it's going to go in this variable called result. But we're using if conditions to do error checking for the user's input, because I might give an instruction that says type 200, and you might have some smart aleck who wants to type a word or put any number other than 200, but I want them to follow this instruction. So I have a few if conditions here that will ensure that they are doing what I'm asking them to do, and this is going to help me avoid any errors in my code if I need them to type 200. If result is equal to 200 and you're using the double equals, if that is true, then sound4 will play. And remember, up here, sound4 is going to play the yay.mp3. So that means that if they did what I asked them to, they're going to hear me say yay if you're using Firefox. If you're not using Firefox, you won't hear this play, but you will get the alert box that says yay plus result, which if you typed in 200, you're going to see 200 here, is the right number. So you're going to get me saying yay, and then an alert saying yay, 200 is the right number. Right as soon as you hit the OK to the alert box, sound4 is going to pause. Sound4 is going to have the .current time set to 0. And we're going to ask another if condition. If result does not equal 200, sound5.play. And remember, sound5 is the variable that's holding boo.mp3. So if they don't type in a 200, if result is not 200, sound5 is going to play, which is me saying boo, wrong number. And if you're using a different browser that doesn't follow that instruction, you're going to get the alert box. You're going to get the alert box anyway, but you're going to alert box that says boo, wrong number. And then when you hit the OK to that alert box, you're going to have the sound5.pause and the sound5.current time is equal to 0. And then it's going to call another function, type correct number. Well, this function, the name type correct number, is calling this function all over again. So if they don't do what you ask, you're going to give them this alert that says boo, wrong number. They're going to hear an audio snippet, tell them it's the wrong number if they're using Firefox, and they're going to call this function all over again. And it's just going to keep looping until they do what you want. When they finally do what you want and the result is equal to 200, they're going to get this yay right number, and then it's going to result not equal to 200 will be false, so it'll skip all of this and it'll go to the next line of code here, line 173, which is going to call another function called choose. So then we're going to move down here, and you have a function called choose. This is calling it to turn it on to make it go, and therefore we're going to start following the instructions in this function. In line 179, we have var answer equals prompt type anything. So at this point, the user can type anything. So what we're going to check, our error checking here, is not making sure they type what we want them to type. We want to know if they're typing something and if they're hitting the cancel button or the OK button. So our first if condition is wanting to know if the answer is equal to null. If the answer is null, sound5.play, which sound5 again is the boo MP3 file. So if it's null, we're going to get the boo MP3. The alert's going to say, boo, you clicked cancel and typed plus answer. Now what's going to happen is if you don't type anything and you click the cancel button, you're going to get the boo, you clicked cancel and typed, and the value for answer will be null if you didn't type anything. But also if you do type something, like let's say you type the word apple and then you click cancel, well, the cancel button is going to annihilate the fact that you clicked anything in there, and it's basically going to nullify whatever you clicked. So you're still going to get the alert that says, boo, you clicked cancel and typed. The value of answer is going to be null again, even though you typed the word apple. It's not going to say, boo, you clicked cancel and typed apple. The value of answer will be null again, even though you did type something. So that kind of threw me off when I was testing the code. But in any event, whether you don't type anything in and click cancel, or you do type something in and click cancel, this is what's going to happen. Your answer is going to be considered null. And when you click the OK after that alert button, you're going to get the pause to the sound 5 and the reset to the sound 5, and it's going to call choose again. So if you hit cancel, it's going to make it go up here and run choose function again. And it's going to test, and if you keep doing the same thing over and over again, it's going to be a loop that's never going to stop until you close out of your browser. But it's going to test for a different condition in case this is not the case. This time it wants to know if the answer is, and there's nothing in double quotes. So this time, if you don't type anything in the prompt box and you click the OK button, that's still not good enough. We want to know that you actually put something in there. You're not just playing around. You're not playing games. So if there's nothing typed in, then sound 5, which is the boo MP3 file, is going to play. The alert's going to say boo plus answer means whatever was typed in there, which if you didn't type anything in there at all, you're going to get like a blank space here. Boo, nothing was typed and you clicked OK anyway. So when you click the OK to that alert, sound 5 is going to pause, and sound 5 current time is going to be set to 0, and it's going to go back up to choose again. So now it's going to go back up here and start the function all over again, because you're not giving me what I want. I want you to type something in there. I mean, my God, I said type anything. I'm not even being picky. But if you're gonna hit the cancel button, or if you're going to put nothing in and click the OK button, you're just going to keep looping. Now we finally get to the last if, which just says answer. So if you're not playing games and you actually type something in there and click OK, then what's going to happen is sound4.play. And sound4, if you go back up here, sound4 was set to the yay MP3. So if you're using Firefox, you'll hear me go yay, and then you'll have the alert box say, yay, you typed, and then whatever you type, at this point, if you typed apple, then apple will show, yay, you typed apple, and clicked the OK button. When you hit OK to that alert box, sound 4 will pause, and sound 4 will be reset to 0. And at that point, we're basically done, and document.getElement by ID y, which is the ID for the button here, we're going to disable it by using .disabled equals true, and that's the end of function 5. So now that I read all the code to you, let me run it so I can show you. Click it, type 200. Now remember, this is way up here. I've already created these audio files and gave the values to these variables, sound 4, sound 5, sound 6, and sound 7. I've already called type correct number, so this function is running right now. Var result equals prompt type 200. That's where we are right now. That's what you see, type 200. But remember, we're doing error checking. If result is equal to 200, this is going to happen. If this is not true, it's going to go down to the next if that says if result is not 200, then this is going to happen. So let's go ahead and not put anything in. Click OK. Boo, wrong number. Click OK. It's going to go back up here to line 151. It's going to run this again. It's going to say type 200 again. Let's just click cancel. Boo, wrong number. Hit OK. Let's type in something with letters and hit OK. Boo, wrong number. Something with letters and hit cancel. Boo, wrong number. Let's type in a wrong number. OK. Boo, wrong number. Hit OK. Let's type in the wrong numbers and hit cancel. Boo, wrong number. So no matter what you do, it's not going to proceed in the code until you type what it wants you to type. So click OK. Yay, 200 is the right number. Now when I click OK, we go to the next box that says type anything. So all of this code has ran. It's calling the next function, which is called choose, which is right here. And right here, var answer equals prompt type anything. This is where we are right now in our code. If answer equals null, the alert box will say, boo, you clicked cancel and typed anything. So if we type nothing and hit cancel, boo, you clicked cancel and typed null. Means there was nothing there. Click OK. So go ahead and type something, but then click cancel. Boo, you clicked cancel and typed null because the cancel button nullified what you typed in. So even though you typed something, it still says you typed null. Click OK. Now let's not type anything and click the OK button. Boo, nothing was typed and you clicked OK anyway. Okay, now we're testing this if there's nothing in there. And it's giving us this problem. So if I finally type something, blueberries, click OK. Yay, you typed blueberries and click the OK button. So we finally got what we wanted to get done. Click OK to finish that, and it actually disabled the yellow button. Now all 5 buttons are disabled, and I've showed you, well, what I didn't do is I didn't have anything show up down here. I didn't do that at all. So what I could do, that should be relatively easy. This is demo 5, PID of demo 5. So after the alert button and pausing of the MP3, if your browser does do that, let's take our demo5.innerHTML and set it equal to some statement. At this point, if they did what I wanted them to do, I could say, yes, you followed the directions. Thank you. Or, if I'm not mistaken, never mind. I'm thinking of the prompt box, not the inner HTML. Yes, you followed the directions. Thank you. I could also say you typed a space, a plus for concatenation, and the word answer. If I can spell it right. Answer, plus answer. You typed the value of answer plus a string. You typed whatever the value of answer is, a space. You typed, let's say, blueberries, and then clicked the OK button. All right. I could do the same thing everywhere else. Copy. Let's do the boo thing. Before, let's see, after you click, let's see if this even works. After you click the alert button, so it's after this statement, When you click OK, that's what will happen next. Let's put it there. And then it'll pause the MP3 and then it'll run it again. Let's see if that works. But this is not demo 5. This will be demo 4. Wait. No, it is still demo 5. Let's see. What do I want to say here? I guess I want to say the same thing I put in the alert box, basically. I don't have to reinvent the wheel. It's the same error message, just in a different place. Nothing was typed and you clicked OK anyway. Let's see, where else do I want to put a change down there? Let's see, after this alert, when you hit the OK button, demo5.enter.html equals, boo, you clicked cancel and typed plus answer. Copy, I'll put that in there. And just to make it look different, I'll just make that capital. Alright, so let's hit refresh. Let's run the fourth one again. Except now I did something wrong. Oh. Let's try that. I had an extra double quote right here after the value of the variable. I can't have a variable in double quotes because the variable is something we want the value of. We don't want the word, the string of the variable. We want the value of the variable. So let's try it again. Alright, type 200. 200. Yay, 200 is the right number. Okay. Type anything. Let's type nothing. Click OK. Boo, nothing was typed and you clicked OK anyway. Now when I click OK, hopefully we'll get an error message down here at the bottom. Nothing was typed and you clicked OK anyway. So then it starts it off at the beginning again. Type anything. We're not going to type anything. We're going to screw with it and hit cancel. Boo, you click cancel and type null. Click OK, and this should change down here. Boo, you clicked cancel and type null. And then it makes us do it again. Type anything. Hello there. Cancel. Boo, you click cancel and type null. Because remember, when I click cancel, it nullified what I did type in. Click OK. Type anything. Blueberry pie. And click OK. Yay, you type blueberry pie and click the OK button. I don't think I spelled berry right. Anyway, click OK, and down here we should get something positive. Yes, you followed the directions. Thank you. You typed blueberry pie and then click the OK button. Alright, so I went over all 5 of these buttons, all 5 of the P paragraphs underneath with special IDs. Both the buttons and the paragraphs had special IDs that functions dealt with, and showed you a little bit about error trapping, how to ensure that what the user types in is what you expect and want. There's a lot of different ways to trap errors. These are just giving you a head start. So with that, I'm going to close out this video and hope it's not too long.